Good afternoon and welcome to another segment of Cooking with Rachel. Today we're going to make one of my favorite items, and that's chocolate. Now this is a raw vegan chocolate with all healthy good stuff included in it. So you don't have to feel guilty. It takes no time at all, maybe 5 minutes to actually mix all the ingredients together. And it's delicious. And so we're going to get started. When I start making a dish, I like to have everything in place. It's called mise en place. And so I like to have all of my utensils ready. I like to have the ingredients that I'm going to use out of the cupboard, ready to go, so I don't have to mess around and juggle. So just to take a quick look, this is what my workstation looks like when I'm about to start making my chocolate. Now, I've already pre-measured out the coconut oil. And this only has 4 ingredients, by the way. We have everything's organic and the highest quality that I can afford. And that's pretty much my rule of thumb with all food that I make. Organic and the best quality possible, and I kind of do the least I can to it so that the flavors of the food really stand out. So we're starting off with the 1/3 cup of organic, unrefined, cold-pressed coconut oil. And the first step is to warm that up, because at room temperature, coconut oil is actually solid. It's a saturated fat. It's a healthy fat. It's antiviral, it's anti-inflammatory, and it contains omega-3s, which are vital for us. So the first step is to warm this up so that it's loose and it looks like a liquid. Using my spatula to scoop it into the saucepan. Now my burner is pretty strong, warms up quickly and it's pretty good, so I've put it on a low medium. And I'm just going to keep an eye on that while I measure out the other ingredients so that it doesn't get too warm and it doesn't burn. The next ingredient is one of my favorites. It's raw cacao. Now cacao or cocoa is what all chocolate comes from. The raw, unrefined cacao is basically just the nuts or seeds ground up into a fine fiber. This is a fantastic source of nutrients for us. For women, chocolate is actually great for blood pressure, and raw cacao is known as a superfood. It contains a high level of fiber, high levels of iron, and high levels of magnesium. All ingredients that are super important for our health and well-being. Okay, now that's why I like to have my ingredients ready so I don't have to fumble around at the last minute, but there you go. Now, we're looking for about 3/4 cup of raw cacao, so I'm just going to use my cup measurer and put it in, and you know, I'm not that exact. With certain things, with baking, generally speaking, I'm pretty exact, but with most things, I do it a lot by feel, and that's what I really like to encourage people to do with cooking. It's a lot more fun that way when you do it by feel, and just trust yourself, and you'll learn. So we're looking for about 3/4 cup, and that's about it. So I'm just going to dump that into my mixing bowl. And then we're going to do a little less than 1/2 cup of maple syrup. You can use agave. I personally prefer maple. And I'm just going to check on my coconut oil. And that's actually ready. It's now loose, like a liquid. So I'll leave that on the side till I'm ready for it. My theory is we can always add more maple syrup, but we can't take it out once we've added too much. So I'm going to start with less, and if I want to, I can add more. Now I'm not used to adverse to using the same spatula that I used for the coconut oil. It's all going in the same place. I'm the one who's doing the dishes, so I'm pretty casual in my own kitchen. Next we'll add the coconut oil. Now you could stop there and just mix that up, and there you go, you've got chocolate. I'm actually going to add a little vanilla. I like it. It adds a little bit of depth to the flavor. Not necessary, and you could use another essence. You could have used an orange essence or an almond essence, and that would give your chocolate a whole different personality. Now again, I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to use my eye, and I'm going to put in about a teaspoon. So that's about a teaspoon. And then I'm just going to whisk it up. And I use the whisk because this breaks up all the smaller chunks of the cacao powder. It gives me a nice smooth paste. Oh boy, I'm getting excited already, actually. And there you go, we have chocolate. Now, I'm actually going to be using this chocolate for a recipe for flax, hemp seed, and date balls. And so I want it to get a little more firm. Now, you have choices at this point. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator as is and let it firm up a little bit so that I can use it to stuff my date balls. It's kind of like a truffle. Or you can have a mold, and you can use the mold to pour the chocolate into, and then you've got chocolate pieces. I have in the past used this mold. It's actually an egg crate, but it works. And you can go to a cooking store and get lots of fun different molds with different shapes. And that, my friends, is how to make chocolate. Now we're just going to have a little taste just to make sure we added all the right ingredients. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Better than most chocolate you'll get in the store. And it takes hardly any time at all. So thank you for joining me again. I had a lot of fun making my favorite dish with you. And I'll see you again for the next segment.